Don't thank me, thank Chief Sun. The director waved his hand, and said, you'd better quickly get someone to pay off those crew members now, whilst Mr. Liu isn't on set. Make them quickly go away to save yourself some peace of mind before anyone finds any flaws in the story. Even though there was a big incident on set yesterday, no one got hurt, and so they continued to shoot the next day as per usual. Qiao Anhao and Lu Jinian were originally meant to have a scene together in the early afternoon. However, because some scenes were delayed yesterday, theirs was pushed back till later that afternoon. The scene they had to shoot was to be shot in the city. Qiao Anhao played the second female lead who had just found out that the second male lead, who she loved deeply, would be back from his trip abroad. The two of them got in touch again, and so they was a little dazed as she walked down the street. Lu Jinian, the second male lead, coincidentally would see Qiao Anhao and follow after her. Eventually, when she was about to cross the road, she'd be almost hit by an oncoming car because of her absent-mindedness, but he would reach out and grab her. The street for the shoot was closed off in advance. Pedestrians on the street were all extras from the crew. Since they had to walk down the street that was about 1,000 meters wide, they split the scene into 3 parts. The first part only featured Qiao Anhao, the second featured Lu Jinian looking over at her, following behind her. And finally, the last part would show Qiao Anhao crossing the street and Lu Jinian reaching his hand out to grab her. The first 2 parts were shot in 1 take. However, when it came to the final part, just as Lu Jinian raised his hand, ready to grab Qiao Anhao's, who was about to be hit by a car, arm, he suddenly stopped. Who knew why, but when he raised his hand halfway up, he suddenly paused. The director screamed out, "Cut!" He creased his brows and asked in a loud yell, "Why did your hand stop mid-air?" Lu Jinian didn't say a word, his hand holding its position halfway up. After standing for quite a long while, he slowly lowered his hand. He turned his head to the director and said apologetically, "Sorry, let's go again." When he finished speaking, Lu Jinian strode towards his first position of the shot. The makeup artist quickly circled him to fix the makeup. After he was done and all of the props were repositioned, the director called out, "Stand by." Lu Jinian raised his hand and pressed his shoulder before letting out a long sigh of satisfaction. Following the director's word, "Action," he immediately got into character. When Qiao Anhao was about to get hit by the oncoming car, Lu Jinian leaped forward like a tiger and reached his arm out. He forcefully dragged Qiao Anhao back. The car in front of her flashed by, scaring her into turning her head and looking at Lu Jinian in astonishment. He who was discreetly gritting his teeth to endure the pain in his back and staring back at her,